During the late 1900s, irreplaceable forms of music such as gospel, blues, soul, jazz, and funk all provided an outlet for marginalized communities in America to convey deep emotions and feelings. It wouldn't be too long before a hybrid offspring of those genres would be born and add even more vibrant colors to Black expression. The 1970s and 1980s brought forth an era of young artistic minds who would amplify good vibes and passionate tales of the inner city in a brand new fashion. Let's take a little trip down memory lane, or for some, it will be Unknown Avenue. Either way, it's a must-stay we honor and discuss the architects that created the blueprint for this thing we love called hip-hop. A pioneer is someone who is among the first to explore or develop something new. They are trailblazers who lead the way, often enduring the pitfalls, bumps, and bruises of being first. Pioneers are known for initiating, and these upcoming contributors are the ones who introduced the culture, enhanced it, or popularized it in its beginning stages. The selection process for this prestigious list was guided by hardcore criteria. Check out the attributes of a true hip-hop pioneer. For one, our scale tippers were first active during hip-hop's formative years, the 1970s and/or 1980s. Innovation and creativity. Pioneers are often the first ones out the gate with their creation or accomplishment. Impact on the community. A pioneer is someone who not only contributed artistically, but also had a positive impact on the hip-hop community and beyond. Documented history. Pioneers usually have people who can vouch for them within the culture, credible sources and witnesses, or evidence of their game-changing efforts. Recognition and influence. Whether you know it or not, bits and pieces, or maybe all of your style most likely came from them. Pioneers in hip-hop are respected and recognized by their peers, spectators, and supporters. Their influence can ripple past their immediate circle and spread endlessly. To commemorate the birth, rise, evolution, and 50th anniversary of hip-hop, we are here to give a standing ovation to the elder statesmen and women who followed their intuition, made their imaginations real, and defined the core elements of hip-hop culture as we know it. So without further ado, we bring to you Culture Scale's Top 12 Heaviest Pioneers of Hip-Hop. Number 12. Disco King Mario. One unsung hero who helped to spark hip-hop culture in the early 1970s was influential DJ Disco King Mario. He hosted packed shows and block parties at Rosedale Park directly across the street from his neighborhood Bronxdale housing projects. Word of mouth around New York generated a big buzz for him and his crisp quality sound system. Mario was primarily a funk disco DJ, but he still influenced aspiring hip-hop curators before they sharpened their skills and became famous DJs themselves. Although he never cut a studio record or attained national fame, his direct connection to hip-hop and some of its brightest stars is official. On July 1st, 2023, King Mario's birthday, a street co-naming ceremony was held in his honor as people celebrated his long overdue recognition. Number 11. Rocksteady Crew. These urban New Yorkers stepped on the scene in the early 1980s and paid their dues one move at a time. There was other dope breakdance squads out when they emerged, but what set Rocksteady apart was their commitment to preserving their name, along with the true essence of the art form over the years. Rocksteady played a vital role in taking breakdancing from the streets of NYC to center stages worldwide, and now it is an official event at the Olympics. In 1984, the group also released a major label album entitled Ready for Battle on Virgin Records. Frontman Crazy Legs and his crew's appearances in music videos, movies, and TV shows further elevated their status as international dance icons, inspiring generations of b-boys and girls. Their dedication to their craft and authenticity made them cultural ambassadors for hip-hop, proving its power to transcend boundaries and unite people through dance. Number 10. Too Short. If the topic is West Coast rap careers and early startups, Too Short can't be overlooked. Hailing from Oakland, California, Short Dog, aka Todd Shaw, put the world on notice with his laid-back flow and raw, unapologetic lyrics. In the 80s, he wasn't just rapping, he was storytelling with a no-holds-barred attitude, flipping the script on what was acceptable in songs. His October 1983 debut release, Don't Stop Rapping, set the tone for his prolific career and launched him into the stratosphere of hip-hop stardom. Short's legacy is etched in stone. Not only was he around for the party when it first began, Short is still going strong to this day, crushing any type of ageism within hip-hop. His blunt and entertaining charisma, combined with his unmatched longevity, cement him as one of hip-hop's finest pioneers, especially from the West. From selling his music out the trunk to his ongoing influence on modern rap, Too Short remains a timeless artist, blazing a path for others to follow. Number 9. Run DMC. On the blocks of Queens, New York, a revolution was brewing. A cultural explosion that would shift music history. At the forefront of this movement stood a trio of pioneers who would become some of hip-hop's largest legends. Run DMC. Joseph Run Simmons, Daryl DMC McDaniels, and Jason Jam Master J. Mazzell joined forces to create a swagged-out formula that was tougher than leather. Adopting the aesthetics of New York City hustlers and meshing that with razor-sharp routines, they took the world by storm, serving up rock and rap in a groundbreaking recipe. Run DMC's impact went beyond music. They opened corporate doors for future hip-hoppers and were one of the very first to prove the genre's potential for global crossover success. Their fearlessness and domination changed the face of hip-hop forever. Number 8. The Treacherous Three. A well-rehearsed group that ignited the city in the late 1970s was the Treacherous Three. Mainly consisting of lyrical threats Kool Moe Dee, Special K, and L.A. Sunshine, the trio flaunted breath control, rhyme skill, and showmanship that set the bar for future rap acts. Their cutting-edge use of call and response rhymes and riveting stage presence reinvented live performances, leaving audiences in awe. With bangers like Feel the Heartbeat and The New Rap Language, the Treacherous Three carved their names into the halls of rap history, laying the foundation for the three-man triple MC concept and teamwork in hip-hop. Number 7. DJ Hollywood. Modern-day solo rappers owe a big debt of gratitude to the original party rocker, DJ Hollywood. This Harlemite knew just how to command the crowd, turning every party into an electrifying function. He revolutionized the DJ-MC combination, crafting the blueprint for many to pattern themselves after. When the culture first started to take shape, the DJ was the main attraction and the rapper too. One man would do both, play the music, and entertain the crowd on the mic. With Hollywood's ability to spin records and interact with attendees, he became a high-demand DJ in New York City. Most of his entertainment was witnessed live and not recorded. You just had to be there. However, plenty of hip-hop heads and industry insiders know DJ Hollywood is one of the top-tier tastemakers and trendsetters to ever come through. Number 6. The Furious Five. Keith Cowboy and Melly Mel. Although there were 5 MCs in the group that included Raheem, Scorpio, and Kid Creole, the two main microphone masters were Keith Cowboy and Kid Creole's brother Melly Mel. Let's start with Cowboy. Keith Cowboy Wiggins was the first MC to truly complement Flash's routine. Before Cowboy got involved, the people would just stand and stare at Flash because they had never seen anyone do the things he was doing. But with Cowboy's motivational approach, the get-together transformed from a showcase to an interactive experience. His calls to action like, throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care, and somebody say ho, provided a fun-time energy that was missing from Flash's set. Keith's crowd engagement techniques and catchphrases have become synonymous with MCing and are still utilized by rappers to this day. Like many of the early MCs, Melly Mel was a b-boy initially, breakdancing with his crew called the D-Squad. He would also dance for Grandmaster Flash at his parties before staking his claim as one of the most prominent poets on the mic. In 1982, Mel gained widespread notoriety for writing and performing what plenty heads consider to be hip-hop's national anthem, a classic called The Message. As strong as that single contribution is, Melle Mel could have retired on top right then and there, but he didn't. He went on to create more hits as the frontman of the Furious Five, promoting his original braggadocious rhyme style that all rappers use today. In the 21st century, a muscle-bound Melle Mel can still be seen repping the culture and carrying the torch for hip-hop's pioneer class. Number 5. Africa Bambaataa and the Soul Sonic Force. Born Lance Taylor to Jamaican and Barbadian immigrants, Bambaataa grew up in the South Bronx section of New York City. There, he would become a member of the militant street gang, the Black Spades, and later established the Universal Zulu Nation after returning from an inspirational trip to the continent of Africa. With over 20 albums in their discography, he and the Soul Sonic Force attacked the dance floor in the mid-80s with infectious electro-hip-hop tracks and socially conscious lyrics. Hit jams like Planet Rock and Looking for the Perfect Beat captivated and resonated with listeners around the globe. Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic's radical sound still rings off at parties and cookouts to this day. Their impact on hip-hop is simply undeniable. Number 4. DJ Kool Herc and Coke La Rock. Kool Herc is another individual who was at the forefront of shaping the culture and sound of hip-hop during its embryo years. Herc made a name for himself DJing in the community room of his apartment on 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx, New York. It was at this address that Kool Herc would familiarize the public with their first tastes of hip-hop elements on top of funky James Brown cuts and other breakbeats. Herc, who got his moniker from Hercules because of his physical stature, took notice of the positive reaction from the crowd whenever the breakdowns came on, so he would run the same song again using a second turntable. On the microphone, Herc also encouraged attendees to let go of their inhibitions, get involved, dance, and have fun. He would eventually DJ at more parties, parks, clubs, and schools around New York with his partner in rhyme, MC Coke La Rock, but they never made any records of their own. Coke La Rock took over primary mic duty from Herc at the events and added his now famous taglines to hip-hop's lexicon of signature sayings, quintessential ones like, "Yes, yes, y'all," to the beat y'all. Together they would make their rounds until circumstances caused them to back away from the set. Through it all, DJ Kool Herc has been rightfully celebrated and acknowledged for decades. He is a monumental figure who helped build the framework for the house of hip-hop, and for that, he is held in high regard. Number 3. The Cold Crush Brothers. Formed in 1978, Cold Crush Brothers Easy A.D., JDL, Almighty KG, DJ Charlie Chase, DJ Tony Tone, and most notable member Grandmaster Caz, grew into the stuff pioneers are made of by killing stage shows and battling all challengers. Although each member brought a dynamic characteristic to the circle, Caz's exceptional penmanship and vivid storytelling skills were central to the group's magnetic appeal. After making a reputation for mesmerizing crowds, they were not only adored by fans, but they became the favorites of some of your favorite artists. Live performances with harmonizing routines were their specialty. The group's influence reached far and wide, as evidenced by their feature in the cult classic film Wild Style, and the spread of their live tapes throughout New York City and beyond. The Cold Crush Brothers' respected legacy is a testament to the unit's creative musical approach and long-lasting contribution to hip-hop. Number 2. Kurtis Blow. Meet the one and only Kurtis Blow, a certified vanguard in the rap game. He holds the distinction of being the first rapper to sign with a major record label. KB blew up from his humble beginnings in Harlem, New York to a commercial mainstream success through radio play, television, and movie appearances. In the early 80s, Blow was the solo king of rap. Whichever current heartthrob rapper you can think of now, Kurtis was him, back in the day. His first 5 albums solidified his position with smashes like The Breaks, AJ Scratch, Basketball, and 8 Million Stories. Throughout his career, Blow was also known to lend a helping hand to other talented artists on the rise, including the Fat Boys and Run DMC. Curtis Blow has been a heavyweight in hip-hop since he entered, and his run remains legendary. Number 1. Grandmaster Flash. A young impressionable Flash admired what he saw in early DJs like Flowers, Herc, and Hollywood, but he wanted to push the limits by extending the crowd's favorite part of a song longer, with little to no disruption, so he came up with a useful technique called the backspin. This would allow Flash to operate as a human loop machine, repeating a particular segment of a song as long as necessary between two turntables. Being the inquisitive techie that he is, another goal of Grandmaster was to find a solution for locating the starting point of breakdowns in songs during his set. After seeing revered maestro Pete DJ Jones' cueing system, he knew what to do. Flash went to the junkyard, got a switch, and hooked it up to his mixer so he could hear and set up the next record in his headphones before the crowd heard it. He then created a timing method where he would mark a record with crayons to know exactly when his target parts began. With his clock theory and backspin tactics, he was able to keep the best parts playing seamlessly, and the people went crazy for it. Flash's innovative ideas are now fundamental skills you must have to be an effective disc jockey. These are just a couple out of several mechanical improvements Grandmaster Flash brought to the art form of DJing. His ingenuity can be found in high-priced digital music software, and his inventions are utilized by countless DJs around the world. So there it is, the top 12 pioneers of hip-hop. While certain people are often highlighted and credited for its birth, it's important to note that it was a collective movement that pulled inspiration from numerous individuals and communities in New York City and elsewhere. You are all greatly appreciated. Special shout out to you if you were actually around for those wonder years. Together we've destroyed the negative predictions of hip-hop being some fleeting fad. When you live it every day, it's not hard to forget about the gravity of these achievements until you look back and see how far hip-hop has come. We could not create another episode without first saluting the extremely important founding fathers and mothers of this. They gave birth to a culture that would inspire, employ, feed, and affect billions of people. Let's keep it going. Before we close, we gotta shine the spotlight on a few more originators responsible for the game. Much respect to superstars and pioneers like Busy Bee, Spoonie G, Lovebug Starsky, Grand Wizard Theodore, The Funky 4 plus one more, Dougie Fresh and the Get Fresh Crew, The Sugar Hill Gang, Eddie Chiba, Cindy Campbell, The Beastie Boys, Ice-T, Fab Five Freddy, New Sounds, The Sequence, Grandmaster Flowers, DJ Red Alert, Mr. Magic, The Fearless Four, and lastly, LL Cool J. Thank you for watching another episode of Culture Scale. We're curious to hear your thoughts on this crucial category. If you happen to know more Hip-Hop Hall of Famers, drop their names in the comment section before you slide. Also, be sure to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on social media so you can catch all the upcoming releases we've got planned. That's Culture Scale with a K on all platforms. As a token of our appreciation, we've put up some classic music for you to check out for free on culturescale.com. Everything from R&B to rap is ready to play. We'll see you over there. Until then, take care.